Hey, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for staying with 95.1 Nigeria Info. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the program for today, the 23rd of January 2024. I don't know. The month feels extremely long, like so much has just been going on, and I totally understand why. It feels like an extremely long month already, like one feels beat up already, as if like, ish. So much has happened, but indeed, so much has happened. It's happened for us here at Nigeria Info, we know that for sure. And for those of you who are a family of Nigeria Info, it's a lot that's happened already this year. And we'll continue to hold fond memory of our friend, our sister, our colleague, Debbie Ohamara, as we remember her. It's a little over a week that she passed on to glory, but her memory is still fresh on the mind of every single one of us. So thank you for all the outpouring of love coming in every single day and the support and checking up on us. I need to also check up on you because I know a lot of you are emotionally invested in what we do, and every one of us here, which is so cool, so amazing. Thank you very much. And I hope you're holding up really well. Hope you are. All right, welcome to the show. My name is Kimberly Wachuku, and you can call me Kim, the Oracle, the Digital Oracle, OTF, the Fellow, Ochanya One of Nigeria Info, Madam Speaker also, and I'll say yes to them all. I'll be here till 7, and there's so much for us to talk about on the show today. We're going to start off looking at some of the stories driving conversation in Nigeria today, and would love to get your perspective on the stories. Would love to get your dimension as to how you interpret the stories. And just to let you know that we're on Facebook and YouTube. Am I correct, Benga? Yes, I am. So we're on Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. We're also on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can leave a comment, your thoughts there, and I will go through them and read as many as possible on the show while we continue. Meanwhile, a question will be put up, and I'm curious to find out where you stand on the debate, which is, perhaps it's not gained national traction just yet, but people have been talking about it for a very long time, and that is the National Youth Service Corps. Recall that some civil society organizations decided that perhaps it's time to, reconsider how we run the National Youth Service Corps in the country. The mandatory program for young Nigerians who are under 30 and graduated from Nigerian universities, polytechnics, colleges of education, or generally Nigerians who even schooled in diaspora, invited to participate in this national service to country, which isn't unique to Nigeria. There are quite a number of countries where young people within a certain age bracket, dedicate a year or two of their life to serving their country in different capacity. In Israel, it's more of a military commitment. In South Korea, as a matter of fact, it's 2 years of some sort of military training to the country, just in case there's anything. They can easily recruit from people who are trained, young men alone, not including women in their country. And a few other countries have this call to national service. Nigeria is one of those countries where in 76, we adopted this sort of program to integrate people, post them. If you're born and raised and schooled in one part of the country, you're sent to a different part of the country to bring about fostering unity and, just move people around, appreciate the country, give your time to the country, and a lot of, brilliant objective that it was meant for in the past. And over time, the times have changed, things have evolved, and some people have started questioning the motive of setting it up if we haven't outgrown it just yet. Nigeria has mixed up nicely, even though some people want to argue and say, no, we still have a lot of fault line, and anything to integrate people into the Nigerian system, spread them to different parts of the country is called for. But, in the face of the insecurity also, where we've had core members forcefully removed, kidnapped, and some of them have been there for, a while, still negotiating who's responsible for them, and areas where people are posted to that are prone to all kinds of insecurity, has begged the question of, is it absolutely necessary at this point in time? Is it even defeating the aim of upholding the aim of setting up the National Youth Service Corps? So some people have actually called for it to be suspended. And I'll take you back to a few days back where a civil society organization called on the federal government, that's the Human Rights and Justice Group International. They called on the government a few days back to suspend the National Youth Service Corps over the spate of killings and kidnappings in the country. It stated that this is, I guess, the backdrop of rising killing occasioned by kidnapping, terrorist attack, and other criminal activities across the country. On February 2023, recalled that gunmen kidnapped 15 NYSC members at a motor park at Isheke in Ihiala, local government area of Anambra State. I'm sure I didn't pronounce Isheke well. Forgive me for that. Where they were traveling to Lagos. They were, however, rescued by the State Police Command. And on forgotten the date precisely, but it was August 2023, 8 Akwa Ibom State Tertiary Institution graduates who were on their way to Sokoto State to take part in the mandatory National Youth Service Corps were kidnapped by gunmen along a highway in Zamfara. And recently, kidnappers invaded a community in Abuja on Sunday, the 7th of January at about 7:30 and kidnapped 11 residents, including the mother of 4 children and a receptionist from the nearby hotel. Final year student of Bahrain University, Kano, Talatu Sali, who was among the victims, was however killed by terrorists after her family could not pay the ransom. You recall that one back. So, you're getting the CSO, Executive Director, Princeton. They say the country was no longer safe and added that the continued posting of youth for the scheme was putting their life in danger. That's his argument, though. But not everyone buys it because another civil society organization faulted that call to even scrap it. Save Nigeria movement has chided those calling for the scrapping of the National Youth Service Corps over security concerns, saying doing so will only amount to cowardice. The CSO contended that security challenges in the country cannot be used as a yardstick to call for the scrapping of NYSC, adding that doing so would amount to embolden the criminals are making caricature of the nation and undermine the gallantry of security personnel who are working night and day to ensure the total defeat and elimination of all form of insecurity in the country. They addressed this in the press conference. The convener, Reverend Solomon Semaka, described such an idea as retrogressive and highly detrimental to the interest of the country. And apparently, it's not just that group. Even Horiwa is one of those who are saying, nah, why scrap it? So it depends on who you ask. Some people see that it has overstayed its welcome. You're not really serving its purpose. Besides, are people really going spread out? A lot of people can walk their way around to their preferred state and, in some cases, organization of choice at the end of the day. But where do you stand when it comes to this? Security is a very valid issue to look at, yeah? This matter of insecurity. And given the fact that when the core members are like, oh, it's the NYC's responsibility to hustle the ransom. No, it's the family. No, it's this one. And, it was just neither here nor there. I remember the height of Boko Haram also in the northeastern part of the country. Although a lot of Borno State at that time, they even suspended posting of core members until reasonable, calm, and security returned to the several local governments before they started posting core members there. But then there's always that trepidation. If you know someone who's being posted, they'll be like, you had to be beaten. That was back in the day when it was still pretty much troubled that, oh, are they safe? I know 1 or 2 persons who didn't go for NYC out of that concern. I don't know if they eventually managed to find a different state to do the service, but didn't show up for camp at that particular point in time because the parents were legit concerned about her security at that point in time. So, knowing that this is not just unique to us, countries where they see the need to mobilize young people for some sort of service, still doing it. Where do you stand? To scrap it, to leave it the way it is, or to reform it? If you're calling for a reform, what sort of reform are you calling for? I know some people some time back have even suggested militarizing it to a point where people who are called to service are given some sort of military training of some sort. Just in case we have a situation at hand, we'll call the retired military personnel, we'll call all young people because they have some sort of training, combatant in nature. And I'm thinking, all right, do I like that idea? What do you think? Share your take with me. You can leave it on either our Facebook or YouTube page, or you can call via telephone and let us know what you make of that. You can call the number Our WhatsApp number is just the only one connecting for now. So it's 0809 9930137. If you're interested in this particular story, I would love to hear from you. Hello.
Hello, Kim.
Yes, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is.
Okay, because I was trying to smile because of the picture that popped up, but I will contain myself. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay, thank you. This NYSC issues. The program for me, it's a very good one, but the security situation in the country, as much as we might try to laugh it off, is valid. We can't.
Oh dear, I think the network is not helping our situation this afternoon. The connection is really problematic. Josh.
The program decided to put people's lives at risk. Now it's so bad.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. The network is, I can hear you better now, but it's been erratic.
Okay. No, okay. Yeah, so I said it's so bad now that you can't, you don't have to go for service to be concerned about your safety in Nigeria. That's the truth. And I wouldn't really say that you can't, because it's one of those things most students, graduates look up to, at least you have a time to rest from school and also rest from your parents, and then something at least colors your CV a bit, you could also, with that period, know people, get your experience around the labor market, and, and then, people have had beautiful life stories from that program. So I wouldn't say they should scrap it. I would say, and of course, like your report says, it look as if Nigeria is actually losing the war, and in the recent we're not against insecurity. So I feel they should leave there, and then just government do what it needs to do. If government do what they need to do, we want to actually to be discussed on having it all for money. So that's just my take.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you just for lending your voice to this. So he's of the opinion that you don't scrap it. However, security should be one area where we prioritize to ensure the safety of our core members. I don't know. The scheme is perfect the way it is. No need for just a tweaking a little bit to get to something a bit more out of it. Hello.
Kim.
Yes, you're welcome.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is J.D. Umawe. I'm calling from Gogolaba.
Mr. KD, welcome.
Thank you very much, Kim. For me, the NYSC is a very laudable program established by the government of General Kugawan then, with very laudable objectives, which if had been implemented to the core from then to now, Nigeria would have been more united, because that's one of the objective. But what do we have? Over the years, the objective has been abused. The scheme has lost its flavor. For those of us who passed through it so many years back, we know what it is. It's quite a very, very laudable program. But you agree with me that over the years, frankly speaking, it has overstayed its welcome, because the insecurity has added to the reason why, left for me, I think it should be scrapped. I don't see the reason why, because you want to serve your country, you lost your life. And because of the posting is not done the way it's supposed to do, where you go to any part of the country. Now many people lobby for it. They stay within, they don't go to, interact with other parts of the country as it were according to the objective. So the essence, I think we should channel that energy towards another area to unite this country. Because, like I said, we have lost many of our young ones in the course of this service. And then we discovered that it is no longer worth it. We should be losing such very young people at their prime age simply because they want to serve. And we have not seen any form, any way that this insecurity will be improved. Every day you wake up, it's getting worse. And like I said, you are not posted to anywhere, as it were, across the country. Parents lobby, people lobby, you stay with it. It's always the essence. Frankly speaking, to me, we should look elsewhere to unite this country, not through the NYSC. The government can do it, find a way to help the graduates, to stabilize themselves before they get job. There are many ways that it can be done better than this thing that we're deceiving ourselves. No longer plausible at all. Thank you and God bless.
All right. Thank you very much, Kedi Omawe's take there. Let's hear another. Hello?
Hello, the Oracle.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Crystal clear. Go ahead.
I greet Elder Kawe. Miriam, I greet you. Amaka, I greet you. And Haruna from Duse Allergy, I greet you. Just like what Elder Kedi Omawe at least said, yes, it was a laudable program being created by former President General Yakubu Gowon. But I wouldn't support the scrapping it, but government, we made to understand that even the youth cover has been involved in this kidnapping. We are still talking of the Federal University of Dusema, Katsina. We are still talking of the Federal University of Gustau, Zamfara, and many other people. You remember during post-election violence, we lost most of the youth corpus. So I think government should improve, most especially in the aspect of security. Even the people that are not youth corpus. In Abuja here, most of the people that are being kidnapped are not youth corpus. But government must improve in the aspect of security. They should use their intelligence, the intelligent gathering, and let there be synergy between other security architecture, between Air Force, between DSS, between civil defense, between Air Force. Let there be synergy. Telling you, Boko Haram, the bandit, if they're united, if these people come together, what are they? How many are they? Are they up to the number of our security men? No, they're numbers. They can be able to, deal with these criminals. And what baffles me is that whenever I hear they repented, integrate Boko Haram and bandit, it pains me because at the end, one will come and say he repented. In what way? He should go and repent to God. You don't have to repent here. They should send him to his maker to go and repent up there, not in these places. Then what are the government doing to the victims that they lost their loved ones? If our government, if they can be able to reintegrate these people to the society, government is supposed to pay heavily to the family member that they lost their loved ones. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your take, Selassie. Let's hear one more, and then we get to build with more stories. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Kim.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Elvis.
Welcome, Elvis.
I'm calling from this afternoon. Okay, yeah, I want to react with regards to the headline that has to do with scrapping of NYSC. I want to use this opportunity to call on those making such a suggestion to rethink. NYSC has done more good than harm. Uniting this country than any other thing anybody can talk about. Some people find their life partners through NYSC. Some people make friends. People get to know about other parts of the country which ordinarily they wouldn't have imagined to visit, through this NYSC. What we need to do is to call on the government to live up to their responsibilities. We haven't stopped mining activities in the Northeast or in any part of the country due to insecurity. We haven't stopped drilling of oil in the south and southeast due to insecurity. So why must anybody call for scrapping of NYSC due to insecurity? The reason why insecurity is on the rise is because our government has failed, both at the federal, state, and local government level. They have failed to live up to their responsibilities. If we find ourselves in a situation whereby these kidnappers, terrorists, or bandits, or whatever you call them, are caught and they are made to face the full wrath of the law, my dear sister, insecurity will be a thing of the past. But the way it is going, it appears as if government is completely nonchalant about it. That's the way I look at it. Because if they are not nonchalant about it, what does it take to actually arrest this issue of insecurity? What does it take to arrest the issue of kidnapping? There are technologies that can help us, that can aid us in curbing all these things. But are they thinking towards that direction? Why are we tackling 21st
Okay. Elvis. It was going great. For some reason, it stopped going great. So please call back if you haven't arrived at your point already, which I think you have. We get the gist of what you're saying. Good afternoon. You're welcome.
My name is Kenny. I'm calling all the way from Kubwa.
You're welcome.
I wouldn't want to overflog the obvious. A lot of persons have said a lot and they are all in line. But I'll just say that the NYSC can still be put to a halt for the moment so that corps members will not be put in undue danger. So there was a time where the world woke out and sporting activities had to be put on a halt so that casualties would not be unduly bloated. So I mean, for the sake of innocent civilians who are going to serve in areas where there is hostility, after all, the NYSC has two things. Is either you get or you get an NYSC exemption later that exempts you from service. So for the moment, spend it away. They are able to curb insecurity. These things can still be put to a halt for time and season, and when the time and season is done for, individuals can return to normal. But people, you have it at the back of your mind is that even the NYSC has a directorate, it has an office, and they have staffs who work for the government. That means that a lot of persons will be jobless at the end of the day. So what that means is that I don't think it may be not good enough, because the subject line is that there is insecurity. So you just halt it for the time being, and for a time and a season, when it's done, everything can return to normality. All the same, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's look at some comments and then move on to the next story. Comment here, let's see. Okay. I believe the NYSC should not be scrapped, but be more articulated to serve as a means of mobilizing and other public services. The food emergency can make the core members have mechanized farms where corpers can supervise many unemployed to achieve national target. In hotel residents in several parts of the country, this makes use of the unemployed through core service supervision. Security is a flimsy excuse to scrap it compared to its many benefits, says Banki in Utako. I think NYSC should go ASAP. The scheme has overstayed its welcome. Did I hear unity? LOL. Insecurity and corruption are two huge flying flies swimming in the ointment already. Do you know that some of the corpers I camped with went to Nasarawa State University, Kefi, and the neighboring uni, Abuja? Is this supposed to be so? I went to Uniben and served at Kefi. Some of my friends from same uni served in Edo State. It has overstayed its usefulness. The loss of life, corruption, and other unpalatable issues are the low-hanging fruit to buttress my position. Prince Oscar in Lube. The NYSC was established in 73, not 76. Okay. It was promulgated by Decree 24 in the Gowon administration and started operation on the 22nd of May 1973. Patrick Yakubu. All right. It's laughable to hear us thinking in this direction. One day would hear them asking us to travel, not to travel because of insecurity. Honestly, our leaders have no plans for the nation. Calm down, hold your horses. One civil society organization is saying scrap it, and that civil society organization is saying do not scrap it. It's just a debate in that circle. The government has not come out to say this is what we intend to do just yet. But talking about what the government intends to do, and there's been generating a lot of reaction also, is move the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAAN headquarters from Abuja to Lagos. Now, in a statement on Thursday, that's last week Thursday, because today's Tuesday, Obiageli Ora, the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of FAAN, said the directive was made by Festus Keyamo, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development. The agency said the directive followed wide consultation by the new management of FAAN with stakeholders as well as unions. Ora said he has agreed that the relocation was in the best interest of FAAN and the country for certain reasons. And those affected by the decision to move the HQ to Abuja have since returned to Lagos, and there's no office space for them here in Abuja. It was ill-advised in the first place to move the headquarters to Abuja when there was no single FAAN building in Abuja to accommodate all of them at once. And having returned to Lagos, the authority will be liable to pay them DTA, that is duty-free toll allowance, because technically they're working out of station as their official posting is to Abuja. And in the statement, FAAN said the minister made the decision to stop the wastage of public resources and rip-off on the public purse. The other option open to the authority was to abandon the old FAAN building in Lagos, to rot away, and to use its scarce resources to rent an office space in Abuja for millions of naira of public funds, when it's actual fact more than 60% of its activities are actually in Lagos, given the huge passenger volume of the Lagos airport. The stakeholders and the minister decided against that and to save the country a lot of this waste. That's their reason. Now, the minister has rolled out plans to get concessionaries to build befitting offices for the authority in Lagos and Abuja, and until that is done, the authority will continue to manage its old building in Lagos that can accommodate all its directors, all its senior officers for now. Abuja continues to have full operation offices, and the authorities have not scaled down operation in Abuja one bit. It is just the technical decision of where the authority has its corporate headquarters that has been, taken without affecting the structure of the operation as they are now for in both cities. So in the near future, when befitting buildings have been built for the authority in both Lagos and Abuja, they will make a final decision as to where to permanently have the HQ of FAAN, depending on the exigencies of the time. That's what they gave. Now, last year, Hadi Sirika, former aviation minister, had said the office spaces occupied by FAAN, the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCA, in Lagos, will be demolished for a more ambitious plan here in Abuja. But the Senate the Senate cannot stop the demolition. Sirika said the aim was to turn the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, into an aerotropolis. But the plan was shelved, apparently, money. His plan was demolish that building we have in Lagos, turn Murtala Mohammed Airport to aerotropolis. I'm sure he had a grand picture in his head like Air Nigeria. But it didn't fly. And this new minister is saying, nope, you see that old building, no one is demolishing it. We're going back there. That's our HQ for now. Why operation happens here in future, when the resources is there and the building is set up properly, then we'll decide where to house the HQ. But apparently this explanation is not good enough for some people in the country, because it has taken all kinds of dimension at the moment. It sounds simple, like, okay, logical. You're moving it back to Lagos, building, not waste money, out of space allowances and all whatnot. But we have a group under the body of the Area Consultative Forum. They've rejected the move and by the CBN to relocate some key departments, and also call and kicked against the plan to move the HQ of FAAN from the nation's capital to Lagos. Let's see back. All right. CBN also did put out some bit of their operations will be going to Lagos last week. Now, reacting, the consultative forum in a statement signed on last Sunday, by its National Publicity Secretary, Professor T.A. Mohammed Baba, alleged that the moves were part of a plot to underdevelop the North. The statement read partly, the CBN's decision is no means of isolated or normal administrative action to fix some logistic problem. Rather, it's a feed into a disturbing pattern of antagonistic action often taken by setting federal administration against the interests of North and parts of the country. And the Ministry of Aviation, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, to relocate to Lagos due to shortage of airspace, office space, and claim of the volume of air traffic handled by Lagos is also unacceptable. The proposed action of the two agencies, CBN and FAAN, are precipitous and malfied. That's a new word for me. Still, in the Ministry of Aviation, only 8 out of 40 directly recently appointed are from the North. They brought that one out. And ACF wishes to remind all concerned that decades ago, the seat of the capital of the Federal Republic was moved from Lagos to Abuja. For that reason, it remains valid. It is constitutional, even more so today. Constitutional, so although, of course, a section of the country didn't like the idea. That is what they put out in the statement. And, you know, you got a lot of people talking as to how did it take this North and South spin instantly? If the reasons, first off, that FAAN gave, let's start with FAAN. I mean, CBN is another matter altogether. For you, is it cogent to saying we're moving it back to Lagos for this reason? We don't have enough space here. We have a big building in Lagos. We're paying those who are in Lagos out of office allowance because they're originally posted here. We have more traffic and more of the commercial activities happening at the Lagos flank of it. And so it makes sense, instead of tearing down that building, to utilize it. And in future, when we do have the resources and the right building to accommodate all of our staff and directors and all whatnot, then we'll decide where we'll house the HQ of FAAN. Is it cogent enough, in the first instance, to having it move, before we start to distract ourselves as to what it's doing for the North or the South? I mean, even for the federal capital, a lot of people have debated how a lot of things are concentrated in Amak. You would think that with the federal capital, given that civil servants are living in different area council, I mean, if you go to Kuje, there should be one government establishment there where you can interact with. And you go to Gwagwalada, Axis, you go to Buhari, you should find that. But it's so concentrated here. Yeah, people say for convenience, let's have it here. But, you know, the big picture is your city is expanding. You're expecting that that expansion should be felt in the different, particularly in a place where it's not a state, it's a capital on its own, like a municipal and the likes of it, that you should be able to feel that impact of development and business spread in different aspects of it, but not so at the moment for the federal capital. And so this move on the surface sounds pretty innocent. Like, all right, if you have to build in there, no wahala, you guys can move and operate. You're still in Nigeria. It's not as if you're operating from Gabon. But educate me, how is it undermining the northern part of Nigeria? If one agency, two agencies decides we're taking our HQ back to Lagos, or we're taking certain operations back to the commercial capital, should they have even gone somewhere else? And, okay, FAAN's argument, you have the building there, but there are certain operations you think should spread around. Some people have called even for the oil companies to have more of their HQ in the areas where they mine oil. I mean, just think about the vast distribution of some things in different parts of the country. It will give it that balance. But let's get your 2 cents on this anyway. The NYSC debate is still on. Call if that's your area of interest. And if this is, feel free to call me up also, 0809 9930137. I'll get to your comment on Facebook in a bit. Hello?
Hello, the Oracle.
Yes, you're welcome.
I want to comment on this issue of airport. Some part of their office to be shifted to FAAN, to Lagos. As far as I'm concerned, with the reason given now, I see no reason that the northern people will come and complain. How they don't talk about the plane before then? Do you know that we register the logo? We come and celebrate the logo. After celebrating the logo, we now celebrated a charter plane that brought from Ethiopia, that was shuttled between Ethiopia and Mogadishu. After celebration, that aircraft disappeared. The northern people not talk about that one. Now, the ship of office from Abuja here to Lagos. That's where they are coming up to talk. Why wouldn't you talk to return that plane to say, okay, to call this minister? He should come and answer, where is Nigerian aircraft? We have seen Ebo here. Ebo here didn't launch logo. They didn't launch anything. We started seeing Ebo here. They fly in Nigeria all over the country. But this one, a minister came in. They celebrated. He said, this is Nigerian air. And in no less than 48 hours, the Nigerian air disappeared. And now they are complaining about that. Me, as far as I'm concerned, so long it will support the economy to boost the air, the aviation, I've seen nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's hear this caller next. Just to let you know, you can only reach us via the WhatsApp phone line. Others are still down for now. Hello.
Hello, Wanda Kim.
You're welcome.
Good evening, my sister. This is Destiny Auntie. I'll be good afternoon. English, we no go. I beg, correct yourself. I gave two of them. Good afternoon and good evening.
Good afternoon, Destiny Anthony.
Destiny Anthony.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, my dear. I want to start with my brother and Elvis and the Kimberly. You know, let me start first by the other one, NYSC thing. They should scrap it. Mention about unity of Nigeria. The way we talk, even on radio, just leave the radio open. Say, no, I'm not regulating things, but you see the kind of thing that will come out from our mouth. We the cornerstone. So you now imagine people who are in rural areas that everybody, their mind has been turned against, one another. If you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, it's Hausa, it's Fulani, it's this one. It doesn't happen. They should start it. Let back and help them. On this issue of relocating some to Lagos, you see, that's why it's bad when somebody starts doing something bad. Correct him. Don't be quiet. The table is turned, and it has turned. When we are opening University of Marine in Katsina, and all funny thing, everything was just because Buhari was from there.
Transport.
Nobody complained.
Not marine transport.
Transport, my dear. Why we are they taking it there? Is there a big river there? So that would have sounded better than that place that he took it. And then everyone, they are clapping. All the appointments, they are going down direction. Nobody. So now that Kim is doing, are you going to expect him to now say a particular against his own kingsmen? Then if the seat of power, presidency, move from here to south, to southeast, to north central, and then it's wrong. We need to cooperate that this is one country. Let us go. Our leaders should stop going to Europe, America, and all this. To Rwanda here. Let us learn how have been able to overcome what they went through. Now they are united. You can't go to Rwanda now and say you're weak. You can't say that they are. With one country, one people. Now just clapping. What do you expect people to do? So, my God, my own point is, if getting some agencies to Lagos, make it cheaper, government is going to spend most of the activities in Lagos. Let them be. If you need to move it to Jos, because most of the people agencies have it more in Jos, let them move it. So it doesn't matter. Why bringing everything to Abuja here? Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Destiny Anthony. Appreciate. All right. Let's see here. Hello.
Hello, Jimmy. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is KD.
Go ahead.
On this issue of relocation. To me, one question I asked, should that be the priority of government now to be moving office from one part of the country to the other? Remember, this thing was in Lagos. They brought it here after giving us all the reasons why it should be here. Now we have a lot of challenges facing the country, much more greater than the issue of thinking of moving one office to the other. And they're telling us they want to spend another money to move the office back to Lagos. To me, it doesn't gel at all, because if we look at our priority, well, this should not be the thing that should be on the front burner. Because if we are not careful, one day we'll wake up, we'll move the federal capital city to another place. As long as you continue having change of government, why can't governance be a continuum whereby whatever has been done agree that it is done with all seriousness and sincerity of purpose, why don't we leave it? Why must we? Because let me tell you, Kim, I want to believe that this has to do with somebody probably who has interest to benefit. I remember here in Abuja, so many offices have been moved simply because somebody somewhere has a property that he wants the department to rent. And then they say, okay, we must move. There was one particular federal government department here in Gogolada. They have to move it to town. While the place they have here is a free accommodation. And they move it. And it's up to now, as I'm talking to you, the staffs are suffering. The greater majority of them are here. And they put the staff in serious pens. Simply because that person where it is moved belongs. So why are we doing is the reason why I don't, because I don't believe any reasonable reason why this should be moved at this time. It doesn't make sense. Why better problem to be tackling now, particularly insecurity, rather than spending a chunk of money elsewhere moving people up and down. Please, it doesn't make sense. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you very much. Katie's take on it. Let's look at some of the comments quickly on our Facebook page. Joey K. Newman, we see you. Ifeanyi O. Valiant says, sometimes I do wonder what it is, particularly do not want. Ban of alcoholic drink, VAT generated or need used. I pray that we practice true federalism or confederation to make every zone invested. Thank you very much. And Jeffrey Anya says, all right, definitely not for us. So we'll move past that. I will get to a few of the comments later. Kelechi K. Meche, thank you very much. I see your comment on our YouTube page. Trying to refresh to get some of the comment out. But while I'm waiting for that to happen, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kim.
Welcome to the Roundtable.
My name is Damian DeJust. I greet you, Kim.
Welcome, Damian.
Thank you. I joined my voice to do our loved ones to mourn Miss Debbie. She's a very good friend of mine. There was the day I told her we had an issue on radio, and I said she looked my number and called and said, "Sure, we are friends now." But then, Kim, what do we say to our loved ones when they are still alive? That is I love you. And I mean it. It is because of your kindness. Person like you, during your day, not minding the situation of the country, you'll be thinking of what to give to the less privileged, especially the poor. I love that, even my wife. Now, when you talk about a movement of FAAN headquarters from Abuja to Lagos, it has been like that. At times, the directors, they will they be in Abuja for 2 days and in Lagos for 3 days. So I don't think that is an issue. If you should be in Lagos, fine. If you should be in Abuja, anywhere they want to situate it, that is not the problem. Is the situation of the country. Would that solve this problem of the common masses? Then having NYSC, I think those who are clamoring for that from me, they benefited. The best thing to do is to tighten up the security architecture of this country. Those people who benefited from free education, NYSC, today they are calling for scrapping it. It is uncalled for. Because I think during the time of our youth service, there are so many stories they told us about the North. And when I visited the northern part of the country, I found out that those stories were lies. If not for NYSC, how would I have known that those stories were lies? And some of my brothers who are still in the places where I come from are still selling such stories. So, Kim, I greet you.
Thank you so much, Damian DeJust. I greet you back. All right. I see all of your comments on Facebook, but for some reason, the comment segment of the section of it is just giving me a headache to access some of your messages. I sincerely apologize, but I would see about it. We still have 20 more minutes after the news to get to looking at that. Let's hear this caller quickly. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, King.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Thank you. I need your number personally because I want to be checking on you people.
Thank you, Mary.
So you send me your number, I'll send you a text, you send it.
All right.
How are you doing?
I'm all right, Mary.
All right. This is Mary
thank
from
you
Guatemala.
for all your support. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you too.
On NYSC, scrap of NYSC. It's like the government is, if I don't know who suggested that.
No, it's coming from a civil society organization to the federal government, and others are countering it.
The civil society organization should prevail on the government to provide security, not to scrap NYSC. If they scrap NYSC, they will scrap the police and scrap the army and scrap House of Assembly. So if there's insecurity, you scrap NYSC. What of civil servants who are going to work and they go back to their houses and go and sleep and people come and kidnap them? So civil society should prevail on government to provide security to life and security of life and properties of citizens. That is their mandate. That is what they are elected to do. So it's not when you have accident, you soak I will not enter car again. So when you are going to Lagos, you trek. When you go, you have your person has a crash in a plane crash. You say you will not fly again. Maybe you start using bicycle. It doesn't work like that. They have the ability to prevail on government to provide security. And for the movement of some agencies to Lagos, I keep saying the northern leaders or northern elders or northern senators or northern governors are not patriotic. They are not sincere. Even the president is not sincere. All of them are not sincere. That's my take. Because Lagos is already congested. There are other states that don't have anything. Why don't you move those agencies to other states? That is how development comes. Lagos is already saturated. Lagos has seaport. There are other states in the Niger Delta that have seas. Make those one seaport. No way. Everything is concentrated in Lagos. If they are genuinely doing it in sincerity, they should move those agencies to other parts of the country. And then the northern elders or northern senators or governors or whatever they call themselves, I expected them to talk for Nigeria. If they were talking, they were patriotic. They would have said, no, don't move these things to Lagos. Lagos already move it to another part of the country. But for them to say they're putting the north in a disadvantage, I do not. They don't even like the north. They themselves don't even like the north. It is for their pockets they are talking about. They are not talking about the north because the abject poverty that's in the north, for the many times they have ruled, they have not attended to it. So it is their pockets that are talking about, and just to cause blood, to generate a bad blood in the country. That's what they are doing. Because the Tinubu self is not Jonathan. So it's Jonathan that is a peaceful man, is a calm person. So when they follow him, they will say, okay, we should go. Tinubu is their match, so they should match themselves. But I'm just saying that they do not have sincerity in what they are saying. They're talking for themselves, not for the North. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So the argument put out by the Arewa Consultative Forum is not even for you much to go by as to undermining the North, the argument there. But yeah, Lagos is packed with so much going on. It does have a lot of advantage and packed. So taking another agency down to a place where it just feels like you should decentralize some of these things to other parts of the country just sounds. But in the argument, they're saying we already have a building there. We already have a structure there. So it's not going to be investing more money to build there. However, it's going to cost a lot of money to move office back to Lagos. We know that for sure. You'd be surprised at how much we'll go for something as simple as we're relocating back to Lagos. And that's when you hear, oh, the building has been in a decrepit state. We need to refurbish it. We need to revamp. We need to buy new this. We need to do some of these things. I'm afraid no more money goes anyway at the end of the day. All right, let us take a quick break and we'll be back with more. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria. And for when we return, we'll look at Plateau politics. 16 lawmakers decided, you know what, even though we've been sacked by the Court of Appeal, we're going back to the State Assembly. But what greeted them was tear gas anyway, because they've been sacked. But they're saying If the governor scaled through it, and the same reason why we were booted out, the governor, somehow the Supreme Court affirmed his election, then automatically in their head, they should go back to the State House of Assembly. Yeah, Nigeria politics is always interesting. We'll touch on that after the break. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.